Today we are going to do a tool called Preference for Anonymous Harm. Let me tell you a story. I live in Portland, Oregon, and we have a mountain in Oregon called Mount Hood. It's a beautiful mountain. I can see it from my house. It's a beautiful mountain, 11,000 and odd feet high. It jets out of a 4,000-foot range, so the difference between the mountain and the range is significant. And the mountain is perfectly conical in shape because it is a volcanic mountain, and it's covered with an iceberg, so it's always white. It's a beautiful mountain. It has the dubious distinction that it claims the highest number of climbing deaths in a year of all North American mountains. Every year, 2 or 3 people will die on the mountain. Every year there will be 5 to 6 rescue expeditions that are sent out to find climbers that have got lost. Each rescue expedition, I understand, costs somewhere between $500,000 and $800,000. The society picks up the tab. Now, do you think the people who climb the mountain, do you think they know that this is a dangerous mountain? They probably do. Can we just leave them there? Can we say, I'm sorry, you knew it was dangerous. You voluntarily climbed the mountain. Can we just leave them there? Most of us would say no. Do we leave them there? No, we go and get them. Oh, by the way, in my town, there is a street called Burnside. On the street, there's lots of homeless people. I see them every time I drive by. These homeless people, I don't know, I mean, maybe they got fed today. I don't know. When I drive by, I never know. Maybe they got fed, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Now, can we say, you know what, we're not going to go get those climbers who got lost. Instead, we're going to use the $500,000 to feed these homeless people. Could we do that? I mean, how many homeless people can you feed with $500,000? A lot of people. Can we do that? Can we say, I'm sorry, you knew what you were getting into up there in the mountain. These guys, I'm going to feed them instead. Do we do that? No. You know why we don't do that? Because the person who climbed the mountain, we know who that person is. That person has a name. In fact, the picture is in the newspaper. The family, the children, the house, it's all in the newspaper. We know who that person is. That is an identified person. The people on Burnside, the homeless people, they're anonymous. We don't know who they are. Not that we are pleased that they don't get fed. No, we don't like that. But we don't like it, but we accept it. It is anonymous. That harm is an anonymous harm. That harm up there on the mountain, that's a very named harm. We tend to avoid named harm. We don't like inflicting harm on a named individual. Not that we like inflicting harm on anonymous people, no, but we tolerate it, we accept it, but we don't like that. The result, we try to avoid what is harm to one individual because we can see it, while accepting a whole bunch of people who are harmed that we never see. How many of you have an individual in your company that has not been pulling their weight? Most people do. By the way, who do you think figured out this person is not pulling their weight even before the manager did? Let me tell you, all the co-workers, they knew. They've known for a long time. By the time the manager figured it out and started doing something, the co-workers are going, about time? How long did it take that guy? You see, the co-workers have been harmed for months. They're asking themselves, why isn't the manager doing something about this? Why wasn't the manager doing something about it? Even if after they found out, they don't do anything about it. Even after the manager realized that that individual is not pulling their weight, the manager waits. He's contemplating, trying to figure out how to communicate it to that person. Why? Because they don't want to inflict that named harm. But by the way, how much anonymous harm have they been inflicting? Before they found out and even after they found out. That anonymous harm, we accept, we tolerate. But that named harm, we are very reluctant to inflict. Think about that. Every time you have a situation where you've got to take action and you're uncomfortable about taking that action because of how it might affect somebody, ask yourself, that's the named harm. How much anonymous harm are you causing otherwise? Think about anonymous harm. We as a society have a preference for anonymous harm. Preference for anonymous harm.